אם את עוד שם תבקשי משאלה, ואני אבקש חזרה. ואם אתה שומע את קולי בחלום, אני לא אוותר עליך. והימים עוברים והלילות קשים, הלב מדמם והנפש שלי כבר שבורה. עד שתחזור לא הרבה לא נוח, ועד שתשובי אחפש אותך ברוח. כותבת עוד מכתבים, אולי עוד יבואו ימים טובים. שרנו את השיר שאת הכי אוהבת. יצאנו בבוקר לראות את הזריחה, להרגיש קצת יותר בחיים. הריח שלך עוד נמצא במיטה, מרגישה אותך בין הסדינים. הלב כבר נהיה אפור, לקחו לי את הגיבור. הם שוב שואלים איפה אבא ואין לי תשובה. עד שתחזור לא הרבה לא נוח, ועד שתשובי אחפש אותך ברוח. כותב לך עוד מכתבים, אולי עוד יבואו ימים טובים. שרנו את השיר שאת הכי אוהבת. ושוב בחלום אתה רוקד נעלם, ושוב מסתירה את הדמעות מכולם. צועקת בוכה משמיעה לעולם את קולך. אני צריכה אותך. עד שתחזור לא הרבה לא נוח, ועד שתשובי אחפש אותך ברוח. כותבת עוד מכתבים, אולי עוד יבואו ימים טובים. שרנו את השיר שאת הכי.
Oh, hello, good evening. How the devil are you? What a terrible, terrible day here in the United Kingdom for all of us, but in particular for Jews in this country. And if you didn't know that this was something that was bound to happen, then what have you been doing? And I've seen that Palestine wankers action, whatever they're called, have decided that this would be a good day to go out and protest about something happening 1,000 miles away, which I doubt very much they fully understand. I don't really understand myself what the obsession is, but I thought it was really important to politically. I mean, I've said it before. I really have said it before, but I am so disgusted, and I feel like I should say these things, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to be careful that I am not using this, exploiting the death of two people, and the fear of an entire community. In fact, all of us, we should all be afraid because I feel like TERFs and Jews were very well connected, that we are the canaries in the global coal mine, and the war on women is upon us. And I think the war on Jews is never really far away. And I fear that this is not the last act of terror we're going to see. In fact, I feel like it's going to ramp up. And I'm just going to say this, and you can take this however you like. I don't mind. But if you import into your country a cancer that is Islam in a form of jihadis. Those two things combined, because it's not every Muslim, that would be foolish, but it is an ideology that many possess. And I want to separate those two things, even though I don't know that they can be separated. I feel like Emma Watson. Um, but I feel that you can say that people aren't bad, but ideologies are bad, and ideologies are this particular ideology um, married with low IQ, um, a whole kind of entire lifetime of indoctrinated into hatred. And I'm afraid you've got a really nasty mix. And what we are importing is the very worst of it into this country. Like, when people before have said, "Oh, the rise of anti-Semitism," yeah, that's what happens when you import Muslims from a certain area of the world. Like, I'd like not to be saying this, because I think it's dangerous things to say, but it's dangerous things to recognize, right? Is it worse to talk about it than the actual what it is? Should we do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we need to really have a think about getting rid of Islamic schools in this country. I think they are terrible. I think we know that there have been certain abuses. I mean, I've got friends who have lived in various Muslim countries who will tell you that there is a big difference between Shia and Sunni Muslims, um, like quite a stark difference. And so, yeah, I want to be really careful, but I also want to be honest, and I want to tell you how I see this. Um, I want to see. I want to tell you how I see this. Number one, if you allow a march frequently and protest in this country, that is basically just full of anti-Semitism and hating Jews. And those people might say that it's about Israel, but you know that many of them don't separate it. Like, if you've read the Quran, you know that Muslims aren't supposed to like Jews at all. Not supposed to like any of us, but Jews first. That's the top of their food chain for them. That's the people they hate the most. I don't know whether it's because that's the original source material of which they kind of plagiarized. Like, the Torah was first, and then the Old Testament, then Jesus, then an illiterate man who liked war. Like, but I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna replace the word Muslim and Islam for far right. And I'm gonna talk like a prime minister, and I'm gonna say many people, or I could speak like Sadiq Khan, but I can't get his accent 'cause he's too irritating. Many people were very frightened in our beautiful London. So many people were very frightened in our beautiful Manchester when they saw, like, if you think about the Hamas Palestine marches, many people in London were afraid when they saw that, people coming together for hate. Like, just imagine we were honest, and our politicians, as opposed to pretending that all our problems are far right, they actually admitted that it was some really, really unhinged people who are Muslim. Like, imagine we could be honest about that. The difference between the Palestine marches and the 13th of September marches: fewer arrests, less violence, less bigoted, hateful language. Like, what is it that this country has got into where people are standing up, screaming and shouting consistently about another country? 500,000 Christians have been slaughtered, like an actual genocide, in Nigeria. I haven't heard anything about that. mainstream news. Do you remember, like, Boko Haram came, that's Muslim, they came and they just kidnapped loads of girls. Like, those little things you're allowed to kind of know about. But you're not allowed to know that that was a whole kind of network system pattern of these sorts of things happening all over Africa to African Christians. It's so mad. Islam is a global colonizing death cult. That doesn't mean that I don't have a lot of time for Muslims that I know and people that follow that religion. But just be sure. When the Charlie Hebdo attacks happened, people said, well, you know, they did draw the prophet. Like, what did they expect? Like, normal people that I know said this. Boko Haram in northern Mozambique. Thank you so much. I'm going to play you a couple of things that I think is relevant. So we know, most of us who know anything about anything, who don't virtue signal, we know that this is happening. We know that the stories that you're supposed to go on, that's just a racist dog whistle story about dogs not wanting to be, people not wanting dogs in places, about people putting signage up, and people go, it's a false flag, but people putting signage up about no dogs in this area. This is a Muslim area. I was in a school in the 90s, and whilst people were turning a blind eye to the mass rape of predominantly white girls, Pakistani girls were disappearing over the summer, and they were never coming back, married off somewhere. Like, you cannot, if you have the mix of uneducated, poor, uneducated, low IQ because of the inbreeding, people from a particular area of a particular country coming into this country, you can't expect that culture to kind of progress and integrate and move on. You can't. And that's not everybody from Pakistan, but that is particular areas of Pakistan. And you've got, I think in London, 70% of Pakistanis are born in, they marry their first cousin. Like, all of this stuff we're not supposed to say because it's all couched in racist. Like, oh, it's racist, it's racist. Well, if certain things happen, if there was a race that were all like 6'2", we'd be allowed to talk about it. I can tell you, as racist as this sounds, Portuguese people are really small. I've never felt so tall in my life as when I went to Portugal. Some things just are true, and it's a culture thing. Because obviously Pakistanis are Indian. Because India was one country, and then Islam went into that country, and then Muslims said that they felt too afraid, that whole victim narrative, they felt too afraid to live in India, so they took a bit of India and made it into Pakistan. Like, this, I don't know how to say it without being really, really, really kind of close to what everybody would call racist. I'm telling you, up and down the country in mosques. In fact, I don't need to tell you. Let the news tell you. Let the news tell you.
Allahu Akbar.
A sermon at the Redbridge Islamic Centre in Ilford. The speaker prays with his congregation in Arabic to curse the Jews and the children of Israel. Talk TV had the recording translated twice independently. It's voiced by an actor.
O Allah, curse the Jews and the children of Israel. O Allah, curse the infidels and the polytheists. O Allah, break their words, shake their feet.
Tell me this isn't exactly the same shit as on those marches. And if you are an absolute thick moron and you're attending this mosque, tell me how that doesn't mean that you want to go and kill Jews. Just tell me how he's not been arrested for incitement. Tell me how these people are not being arrested for actual incitement and hatred.
disperse and tear apart their unity, and ruin their houses, and destroy their homes.
And from London to Liverpool.
If the 2 billion just marched on Israel, it's all over. You spat in the direction of Israel, 2 billion, it's all over.
To Birmingham.
The stones will speak and say, "Oh Muslim, behind me there is a Yahudi, come and kill him."
Preachers at mosques across Britain have been filmed calling for victory for Hamas.
Let me tell you what else is worrying about this. Who's in the fucking mosque not reporting these people? Like, if there's so many of these people and people go to the mosque and nobody's reporting these men, I'm telling you, we're idiots. Because there must be hundreds of people across the country that knew what these men were saying that haven't reported them.
O God, heal our hearts regarding the usurping Jews and in every enemy of you and the Muslims. O God, limit their number, kill them indiscriminately, and do not leave any of them alive. O God, our Lord.
And what have we got in this country? Like, I think this should piss you off the most. What do we have in this country? We have Christian preachers getting arrested and getting calls from the police for saying, "Bless you." Like that, if that sounds like bullshit, because it sounds just, who would even, how could that even, that doesn't sound true. That's preposterous. It's insane. Yes, it is. And it's also true.
Disperse them, weaken their strength, shake the ground beneath their feet, and freeze the blood in their veins. Make them captive to the Muslims.
And stoking hatred against Jews and Israel with alarming anti-Semitic rhetoric.
O Revenger, revenge from the oppressive aggressor occupying Zionists. O Allah, shake the earth beneath them. O Allah, limit their number, kill them indiscriminately, and do not leave any of them alive.
Rhetoric that in some cases is as violent as that of Abu Hamza, the known hate preacher who delivered sermons at Finsbury Park Mosque before it was shut down and who was deported from the UK. In Greenwich, this speaker ended his prayers with calls for Allah to grant victory over the enemy. The Met said while it understands the footage raised concern in Greenwich, no offences had been committed there.
See, there is something so rotten. Like years and years ago, I said something about you can offend everyone except Muslims and trans women. I think I said at the time, and I can't be asked to issue a disclaimer. And that was used against me to prove that I was a terrible human and a racist and an Islamophobe. And I probably am the latter, to be honest. I think if you're not frightened of a global religion that has that is responsible for about 95% of global terrorism, then I think you're a fucking moron. But there is something written somewhere in the police. I swear there is. There has to be. I don't want to do a Candace Owen and say, I don't know it, but I know. But there is something written somewhere that says that offending Muslims' religion is on a par to getting your head chopped off, right? It's like, well, if you do it, then you deserve it, right? So I think there's something, Equality Bench book, with that case the other day where that man was sort of trying to kill someone. He didn't even get criminalized, or rather he got a suspended sentence. He got less time in prison than Lucy Connolly. And I think you also have this where we know that something really dodgy is going on with the police and how they treat these offences like fucking hell. No offences, no criminal offences. The police, with these sorts of statements, are partly to blame for what happened today. And the politicians, and the fact that we decided to recognise Hamas as a state. I might be paraphrasing, but this is all part and parcel of what happened today, how it was able to be, how it was, it's kind of manifest, what it means, and why you're an idiot if you didn't know it was coming.
Jewish groups, though, say that police aren't doing enough and are calling for prosecutions in some cases, warning that some of these sermons could lead not only to hate crime, but extremism and even terror.
There is no difference.
Let me just see what the report is called. Some clips show preachers calling for Jews to be killed. And what happened today? And do you know what? I was listening to the report, and they were saying the security guard on a synagogue. The security guard. How ridiculous. The security guard on a mosque. And we know that they've had to have security guards on their children's schools. Like, it's mad. It's mad. I don't know who it benefits. It's mad. But I do know this, that right now, the left is in bed with Islam. And I don't know. There's a little bit of me that is looking forward to when Islam no longer needs the silly students of the left. And it'll be convert or die for them too. So let's have a look at something else I feel is relevant. So talking of the left and how the left also seem to hate the Jews. And maybe that's why. Maybe it's like, oh, we both hate the Jews. Let's be best mates. So this is a really good film. Tells lots of sides. It's no fan of Israel or the Arab nations, and I'm sure it's biased somewhere. But just for footage and his narrative through this is Adam Curtis, and it's Can't Get You Out of My Head, 2021. And it's shooting and fucking are the same thing, and this is a little bit about what I see when I look at some of these kids in Antifa and at the universities, in particular that repulsive, scummy man who is at the Oxford Union. And this really reminds me of that.
Mao Zedong and his wife Jiang Qing had unleashed a new force in China. These were what Mao called the little devils of youth. He told them that they were going to save the revolution. Their job was to go and seek out the demons and the monsters who were corrupting the revolution. No one should be safe, he said. They should all be...
Look, over emotional. Overly, really highly emotional.
torn down and smashed to pulp. The new revolutionaries gave themselves a name, the Red Guards. Jiang Qing now had great power. She saw herself as equal to Mao. But she was convinced that the threat to the revolution also came from inside people's minds. All the old figures of authority were banished. Instead, the ordinary people, including women, took centre stage. They were performed to millions of young Red Guards, and in talks before the performances, Jiang Qing told the audience how what they were about to watch were heroes awakening and realizing that they could take control.
Today, I still vividly remember the first time I saw the revolutionary play.
So that's showing you just how they used plays and stories and narratives, and it's such a great program that there's a bit in it where one of the, I think it's the girl's father or teacher, and they bring him out and they want to tear him limb from limb. They want to destroy him because they've been told, a bit like the TRAs, a bit like Antifa, a bit like these twats who go out and protest against Israel. And really what they're doing is just going out to hate the Jews. And they think they're so righteous that they think the only answer is death to those other people. Like, it's it feels so present. That hypernormalization is the other one. This one's called can't remember. I just said it. But it's Adam Curtis. And if you just look up Adam Curtis and Red Guard, you'll find it. It's all on YouTube. Very, very good program. Very good program. Anyway, you're gonna keep asking me now. You'll have to just, I will tell you. Let me tell you, because then we can all move on with our lives. It is called Can't Get You Out of My Head 2021. And that one is called Shooting and Fucking at the Same Time. But you need to watch it from part 1 because there's the whole thing. He also talks about how in the 70s, they started, suicide bombing started. And that was all to do with the Iranians using them to sweep the mines. And then the Hamas was they learned from Hezbollah all about suicide bombing and causing devastation. So it's good. It's relevant. It's good. It's important. But I just want to say that I do honestly blame every single person who has known that there is a growing anti-Semitism, like a real growing, visceral, visible, overt hatred of Jews in this country, and they have still participated in the places in which that grows. We know that many Muslims, male and female, but many Muslims fucking hate Jews. We know it. We know it. We know that we have people in Parliament who talk about Palestine and Gaza more than anything else. We know that that's the most important issue for them, not the NHS, not the policing in this country, not the lack of freedom of speech, not the rising cost of living. No. Gaza. We know that we have politicians standing in Parliament trying to say that it's a good thing that some cousins fuck each other and get married. We know that. Like, that's not how any of us want to live. That's not how I feel. I don't like hate any group of people. But we seem to think it's all right when it comes from this group. Oh, it's all right for that group to hate that group because, well, that's okay. And loads of you have stood by and continue to stand on the side of Hamas. Like, and I don't mean have intellectual conversations about whether or not what Israel is doing is right. And I think, you know, that you have every right. You have every right to that opinion. Can talk about it till the cows come home. But when you know that you are joining a march, large march, that makes genuinely, not like fucking TRAs feel unsafe because women say that they're men, but actual Jews in London feel like they can't walk out, where police are saying to Jews, when you're visibly Jewish, to somebody who stood at the side of a group of people in this fucking country. We know it, and then we allow politicians to talk about the rise in Islamophobia and never talk about the fact that it's predominantly Muslims as a group and the left who really do seem to hate Jews. But we can talk about, well, they say 150,000. The figure could be anywhere from that to 1 million. But when those people marched, they were just instantly declared for being anywhere near that march as far right and racist. So I don't know why there's a difference. I just don't know why we can't do that. Look, if you want to find out about what's going on in Israel and Gaza and the whole Palestine argument, I ask you just to look at a million things, right? Loads and loads of news sources. Just look at lots of news sources. But I don't even care who's right or wrong in Gaza, to be quite honest. I don't know if I care. What I care about is what's happening to this country. That's what I'm concerned with. How is this happening in this country? How are we allowing a whole group of people to feel like they'd rather leave this country because they don't feel safe, and everyone just ignores it and pretends it's not true? That's what I'm bothered about. So I think it's worth everybody's time to think, do we want to live in a country where Jews feel unsafe because of something that's happening hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and some people hate Jews? Like, they just feel emboldened. It's not like they've suddenly woke up and they hate Jews because of what's happening in Gaza. They've always hated Jews. They have. They just didn't feel comfortable enough to express it before. So this feels quite apt, because I feel this is right where we are.
This is our land, a land of peace and of plenty, a land of harmony and hope. This is our land, Oceania. These are our people, the workers, the strivers, the builders. These are our people, the builders of our world, struggling, fighting, bleeding, dying, on the streets of our cities and on the far-flung battlefields, fighting against the mutilation of our hopes and dreams. Who are they? They are the dark armies, the dark murdering armies of Eurasia. In the barren deserts of Africa and India, on the oceans of Australasia, courage, strength and youth are sacrificed. Sacrificed to barbarians whose only honor is atrocity. But even as we grasp at victory, there is a cancer, an evil tumor, growing, spreading in our midst. Shout! Shout! Shout out his name!
Nothing the party does is good. Even the world's is good. The party wants you to believe the end of war so as to channel your attentions away from their actual he never understands. He is a
joyful. That was 2 Minutes of Hate, and a nice scene from 1984. And if you haven't read the book recently, go and read it. And then read Brave New World, and we can have a chat, because I think Brave New World is closer to what we are, but 1984 is frighteningly close. Anyway, I just wanted to say it because it's crazy that we all knew this was coming. And to Jews across this country, and in particular in Manchester, I will always stand with you. Always. I think everybody in this country deserves, every citizen of this country deserves the right to live without fear, to be able to take their women, to be able to take their children to school, to be able to attend their place of worship, and walk about without fear and intimidation. So anyway, if you can speak the truth, even when it's technically rather tricky, then I promise we will win. Oh dear. Gaza has nothing to do with Mao. No, Jeffrey, do keep up. Do keep up. We were comparing Mao to the twats that go on the marches. That's what we were doing. And the fact that they come out for sort of Omnicores and Antifa and so on. But, you know, I'm sure you'll be fine when you find your other half of your brain. If you can keep speaking the truth, even on Islam, which I know is the most dangerous topic, because the word racism and racist is like, those words are so powerful, and we do really have to rise above, because that's going to be the easiest way to destroy us all, is if we stop speaking the truth because we're frightened of the labels that will be thrown at us. And I can't be arsed with that anymore. If you can just keep speaking the truth, even though those labels will be thrown at you, or people will just imagine that you have intentions that you don't have. Like, my intention would be that we don't have any more killings on the streets of the United Kingdom, and that we actually deal with the problems that we do have rather than importing more. Anyway, if you can do that, I promise we will win. And you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose. Oh, I nearly put something terrible on then.
Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift,